Here's something nobody tells you at the funeral of a dream. When someone's career collapses, when the startup fails, when the manuscript gets rejected for the 11th time, people say the same thing. They were just unlucky. And we believe it, because honestly, it's comfortable to believe it. But what if unlucky isn't something that happens to you? What if it's a geometry problem you never knew you were solving? There's a concept, it's used by physicists, engineers, and quietly, almost privately, by nearly every person you'd actually call successful. It's called luck surface area. And it doesn't care about your talent. It doesn't care how hard you've worked. It only asks one question, one kind of brutal question. How much of you does the world actually have access to? Because here's the thing about lightning. It doesn't strike randomly. It strikes what's tallest, what's most exposed, what was built deliberately to be found. Today, we're going to do something most motivational content refuses to do. We're going to make luck mathematical. One equation, L equals D times T, explains why some genuinely brilliant people stay invisible their entire careers, while people with half their ability seem to attract opportunity like gravity. And we're going to figure out, honestly, which one you've been. Let me describe someone. You might recognize them. They wake up early, read obsessively. They've spent years, real years, not months, developing a skill that is genuinely world-class. Maybe it's financial modeling. Maybe it's writing code. Maybe it's just understanding people in a way that most therapists can't quite explain. And they're waiting. Waiting for someone to notice. Waiting for the right moment. Waiting until they feel ready enough. Just waiting. This is what I call the hidden genius trap. And here's why it's a trap, not a virtue. In the mathematics of luck, the equation is multiplicative, not additive. Which means if you do extraordinary work, but share it with 0 people, you don't get partial credit. You don't get points for effort, or intention, or quiet excellence. You get 0. Mathematically, definitionally, 0. You are a high-performance engine sitting in a garage. No wheels, no windows, locked door. But here's the part that should sit uncomfortably with you, because it sat uncomfortably with me. The hidden genius doesn't feel like they're hiding. They feel like they're preparing, being humble, waiting until the work is good enough, until they're good enough to deserve to be seen. That feeling? That's not modesty. That's the mechanism that keeps the trap locked. And somewhere right now, right now, today, someone with less skill than you is getting an opportunity that could have been yours, simply because they raised their hand, and you didn't. That's not poetic. That's just math. The formula was first articulated by entrepreneur Jason Roberts, and its simplicity is almost insulting until you hold it up against your own life. L equals D times T. L is luck, the frequency of real opportunities colliding with your actual life. D is doing, the depth of your work, your skill, your expertise. T is telling, the number of people who know that work even exists. Think of it as a shape. D is your vertical axis, how deep your value goes, how sharp your thinking is, everything you build when no one's watching. T is your horizontal axis, how far your signal travels, the article you publish, the conversation at an event you almost didn't attend, the post that reaches 400 strangers on a quiet Wednesday. Multiply them, and you get a surface area, a literal space where opportunity can land. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people, smart people, hardworking people, pour everything into D. More studying, more refinement, more perfectionism. And they treat T as optional, even a little bit distasteful. I don't want to self-promote. I just want to do good work. I've said that. Maybe you have to. But look at what that does to the equation. Your D is a 9 out of 10, genuinely exceptional. But your T is a 1, maybe a 2. Your luck surface area? Nigh. Now, someone else. Their D is a 6, solid, not exceptional. But their T is an 8. They write, they share, they show up, they connect. Their luck surface area? 48. They get more opportunities, more investment, more of what the world casually calls luck. And here's the question I want you to actually sit with, not scroll past. Is that person less deserving, or have they simply accepted something you're still refusing to? Let's get specific. No more abstraction. You're a writer. You spend 6 months, real, disciplined months, producing the most insightful long-form essay of your career. It lives in a Google Doc. 3 people have read it, including you twice. Collision points with opportunity? 3. Different scenario. Same 6 months. You publish 1 article a week. Not perfect, not revolutionary, just honest and specific. You share it across 2 platforms. Average reach? 800 people. By month 6, you've created over 19,000 individual collision points with the world. Even if only 0.1% of those readers ever creates a meaningful moment in your life, the math works. It has to work. That's not inspiration or optimism. That's the law of large numbers. High agency people aren't waiting to get lucky. They're engineering the conditions under which luck becomes statistically inevitable. And I want to be honest here, because most frameworks skip this part. Telling without doing is just noise. If your D is hollow, if you're broadcasting work that has no real depth, nothing that genuinely serves the person receiving it, then expanding P doesn't multiply your luck. It accelerates your irrelevance. The formula only works when both sides are real. That's not a footnote. That's the full thing. Here's the shift, the actual one, not a tip, a shift. Most intelligent people carry an unconscious belief that sharing their work is a favor they're asking the world. Please look at what I made. Please think well of me. And that framing, that slight desperation underneath it, creates shame. It creates the cringe. It creates the paralysis that keeps brilliant people quiet for years at a time. But what if telling wasn't self-promotion? What if it was just data provision? You're not asking for attention. You're submitting information to a market that is actively searching for what you know. Somewhere right now, someone has a problem. Your specific knowledge solves it. They're looking. They cannot find you. Your silence isn't humility. Your silence is withholding. Once that reframes, really lands, the action feels different. You're not performing. You're not begging. You're making yourself discoverable to people who already need you. So, practically, 3 pillars. Not a checklist, a structure. Pillar 1. Earn the right to be heard. Before you expand T, make sure your D can hold the weight. What's the one specific thing you do? Explain, create, solve, better than 95% of people. Get clear on that. That's your signal. Everything else is just volume. Pillar 2. Lower the activation energy of telling. Don't start with a TED Talk. Start with 1 honest paragraph, once a week, about something you genuinely learned. The bar isn't impressive. The bar is specific and true. Specific and true is quietly magnetic in a world full of performance. Pillar 3. Understand that time multiplies everything. Surface area isn't static. It grows. A post from 8 months ago is still out there, still creating collision points while you sleep. Consistency doesn't just add, it compounds. The luck you manufactured this year will still be landing in your life 2 years from now. There's a version of you, not a fantasy version, a realistic one, who took the same talent you have right now, same hours, same depth of knowledge, and just made it visible. That version is having conversations you haven't had, getting invited into rooms you don't know exist, being called lucky by people who don't understand the geometry of what they're watching. Luck isn't mysterious. It was never mysterious. It's the residue of surface area. L equals B times T. The doing you're already doing. The telling you keep postponing. Stop waiting for lightning. You already know how to build the rod. Next, we look at the dark side of all of this. Survivorship bias. Why the success stories we tell might be the most statistically dangerous lies in modern culture. Subscribe. We'll keep the logic sharp.